It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Jackson Texans. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
To throw is Bortles. Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. But they convert on third with a gain of 22.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That was first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Bortles. Paul bringing it in. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Open man right side is Shark. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Jags grab it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sharks got it left side. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. To throw, it's Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
And with Austin Seferian-Jenkins flashing the form that had people excited about him when he came into the league a few seasons ago, the Jags had to make a move to sign him in the offseason. Remember, they only got 43 catches from all of their tight ends in 2017. So getting an ASJ was an absolute must in the offseason.
This one taken just inside the 10. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, this is three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Back to throw, Watson. That is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the 50, it's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a 3rd and 6.
Try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Bortles. And in ball.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And that is incomplete here.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him on that play.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Miller. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Shreds the tackle. A great return there of 22 yards. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The pitch to Fournette. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Zach Cunningham coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. We're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 43. From the gun, it's Bortles. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now he's forced out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Paul. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and there's creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Bortles. Now he's flushed out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Justin Ellis able to get him for a loss of about 3.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Forced out to his left. He may try, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Blake Bortles with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Watson now to throw. Caught here by Griffin. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a gain of 7, and it's a second down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To throw is Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, it's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw. Holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
From the gun, here's Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Griffin. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That puts a good dent into their first down setback. It's a pickup of 16. Again, it's Watson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Here's Watson now on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Timeout.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Third and long, it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a fourth down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brent.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
Black 22! Black 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, here's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A fake to Fournette, now it's Bortles to throw. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he stopped immediately there. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Sunday.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
After the interception, here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watson on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Bortles now to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone?
Will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts
blitz coming, and down he goes. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Taken in at the 22. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Bortles. Flush to his right. He'll check this one off to Fournette. Back now in Houston. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Now he'll let it go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw on second is Watson. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Underneath for Miller. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Watson, and this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Telvin Smith in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards. I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game. A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
Against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Fournette fighting through. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 31 yards there and a 1st down. Well, early on, we talked about the key being keeping him under 100 yards. Forget that. He's over that mark now.
And that rushing total for him has correlated into a big win for his team.
Now Fournette only able to work it to the 20 after the nice broken tackle. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.